Hey everyone, it's Timid Falconet, and I'm back with another episode of uh, what is this again? Oh, the second Quack Cup. Well, another match from that on honestly one of the most annoying to record maps in history because it's got 6 fucking tiles at the top that aren't even used. So this is Chasing Shadows in Limgrave, which I don't know why they decided to do a fucking Elden Ring thing tile set. Especially because, like, there's 3 rows of pipes behind the bright sky. Okay, cool. I don't really give a shit. But, yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I guess it kind of looks cool, but, like, no. No, why? Why is this a thing? Yeah, as far as I can tell, the tile set is, I guess, dirt roads are the most important thing, but it's mainly just cell shaded differently, and that's it, which is kind of annoying. It's kind of just boring. The main difference between this and Chasing Shadows, what Shadows chase you endlessly, is these center islands. Well, these 2 islands are there's a lot more shoals here, so you can't actually cut off infantry moving in and out of them as easily as you might be able to normally. Usually, like, well, in the original map, you can just there's like an area here, but you can enter the island from, and an area here you can enter the island from. But now it's like all interconnected, so it's a bit more of a fluid map than the original, which I don't really like either. But you know, whatever. It's more of a mixed base thing as well, I think, possibly. Where are the airports? There are. Oh yeah. So there's this one here. They're sort of like at the tail ends of them at the map. So air units are going to be basically. I mean, if you want air units, we're going to have to come from here and then just be sent towards the middle. So it's mainly most of the map is going to be focusing on vehicle engagements in the center here, basically. Because it's mixed base, I guess, there are black boats on the HQs, but honestly, I feel like they're not even necessarily needed. Well, to be fair, like, both of your opponent's bases on this side are closer than your base on the north, so I can see the need for that, honestly. Okay, that's fair enough. Comm tower wise, oh yeah, they're pretty much. I mean, to be fair, they're kind of in a contestable area because we're like really pretty close to this base, at least visually. But I don't know how you can contest it from this guy, which, like, your standalone bases, base plus airport set, are both within 3 tiles of this guy. So I don't know. I don't know how that's supposed to work. The other thing that's interesting that I've seen done on this map is, like, bombers from here to take out the black boats. So honestly, the black boats aren't actually that useful, especially if you're playing max and you can play around that a little bit. But anyways, that's not what we're going to be talking about. No, this is going to be, God, this is so ugly. And it's all this stupid shit's fault at the top, because I can't really. I'm trying so hard to get both of these up included in here, because it is actually pretty important that you know what's going on here, especially considering it's like a tag battle. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So starting off here, obviously going for the infantry builds pretty easily early on, and then I swapped COs, which is going to result in having a small Sammy head for the rest of the match for a couple of rounds. He has the infantry here to start capping the airport right away. I honestly would probably just go for this and then chain into the comm tower, because this is pretty contested. So I'm not sure if that's a see, like that's what I'm doing here in the north myself. So yeah, and then I'm moving this guy around. I'm not exactly sure if I'll be able to move him around entirely. Like Sammy has 8 move on this guy, so he can move back here if I need to. But I'm at least like possibly baiting him into getting the harbor if he wants it. Not that it's like that good, but let's see here. Starting off, we got lots of infantry moving around. I'm having Sammy to start out with just so that I can get the capture advantage that she gives early on, but at the end of the day, I'm going to end up switching to Von Bolt once actually the actual engagements start popping off. I'd say Von Bolt versus Max in this mode. Honestly, Von Bolt, well, Max might just take it overall, but Von Bolt's defense is nothing to be sneezed at either, so you can always, it's always important to keep that in mind when you're playing on a weird rules format like this. So yeah, I'm actually moving in like that so that if I want to, I can boost my infantry here. And right now, because I've got Sammy infantry, they are pretty scary for Max to take an engagement from them. Like, I could easily just interrupt this cap right here if I wanted to. But we are getting, which is why he's got the recon here, but to be fair, it's out of range as well, so. But yeah, we've got tanks moving in here. He's only moving in a little bit here with his tank, actually. Interesting. So I'm moving in here. I'm going to get this cap for sure because of the Sammy boost. I'm interrupting that cap there. It's not even a proper interrupt. So let's see. I want the damage calculator. Okay, that all looks good. Cool. Yeah, it's actually not guaranteed. It's actually guaranteed to never give me that boost I want. Unfortunate. Ah, well. You know, I've kind of figured that Sammy's infantry would maybe be a little bit better than that, but ah, well. Still going to interrupt the cap for a turn at least, so that'll be good. And I'm obviously swapping back to Von Bolt because of this tank here. He's a little bit exposed here, and I want to make sure that, especially when I'm dealing with like max firepower, I'll be able to survive the hit, right? He's actually going for the engagement there because it's not even bad for him, honestly. It's not even that bad for him. So this turn, he does have the advantage in this area now. I've got a tank here to start pushing down this way. It's sort of the same issue here is like Max's firepower is good enough that even against Von Bolt, unless you have it in like a city or like even a city or a missile silo is pretty good defensively here, but like yeah, so I'm getting the second tank there obviously. I think I might get another tank here possibly. We'll see. I forget what I did. Yeah, I do. So I actually base skip for this tank. But it'll be very important to keep control of this area for my opponent. So that's why I went for that. Mainly just to zone out this recon. But yeah, as you can see here, he's taking a couple hits from the infantry here. Getting the nice extra defensive bonus from Von Bolt is paying dividends here, at least a little bit. So he's decided to sort of tank chain in this area now, so I'm going to be forced to move in here a little bit. He did the... he had enough money to build everything, yeah. Okay. So, obviously I fall back with the tank there. I think there was a chance that he could have killed there, but... sucks for him. So I get the kill there. And this is sort of where Von Bolt just starts to roll Max, basically, because of that extra defensive bonus. He can, like, just start picking him off a little bit. Got this tank here to follow up against a first attack from this guy. And then I've got this guy actually moving in this way as well. Partially to take out that infantry, but also partially to start zoning out this area a little bit. I'm going to have a good amount of income next turn, so that'll be nice to work with. So he swaps to Nell here. Or I guess last turn, which is kind of weird to me. Because, like, now he's not going to really have... I guess he has the luck at this point, but really you should only be using Nell in this sort of schema for her Lady Luck ability, because that allows her infantry to be way buffed. But if you're not using Nell for that, like, Max's day-to-day firepower bonuses are going to be way more useful to you than Nell's luck. Like, marginal luck increase. I mean, to be fair, you can use it to pierce defensive bonuses from terrain, but... And I guess Vaughn both defense as well, so I guess it sort of evens out maybe, but I would definitely still prefer Max's, I think, overall. At this point, I'm just taking out as much infantry as I can here, even getting this nice uncontested cap from him. So I'm going to make my income lead even better here. I've got this guy here. Actually can't follow up there at all. So I'm mainly keeping him here for healing. Maybe I should have moved him there, because that way he would have healed and then would have been able to guard this infantry. But I'm already guarding it with this tank, so I think having this guy here to ward against these 3 tanks, possibly 4 next turn, is going to be a little bit better. Plus I've got another tank here as well, incoming, so decently fine. But at this point, I'm threatening the cap on his comm tower, and I've got tanks ready to move in on his base, and also the airport a little bit as well, but definitely his base here. So I was kind of worried that he would go for a battlecopter build here, but he does move like just out of range of my tank here, which is annoying, as recons should be if you build them. This is a very good recon that he built. Recons are I like recon on mixed base because they do put in a good amount of work. And then he does, yeah, he goes for the battlecopter here, obviously, and a mech as well. So he really wants to make sure that I'm not really that I'm off of the base at least. So yeah, and he's pivoting up north a little bit with his tank here, which he's guarding with his upper tank as well. So what that means for me is I'm just going to move in and take more engagements against his infantry. I'm just going to bully them some more here. So I get a first strike against this tank even. And the reason I'm doing it this way is I take out that so that I can get an anti-air here. And if he wants to retaliate against me with the battlecopter, he's going to lose it to the anti-air. So getting this cap basically guaranteed. No, actually completely guaranteed. Grabbing this cap. I'm actually not going for the comm tower this turn. I was considering swapping to Sammy like all this time, throughout this entire time, so that I could like grab this for sure, but I didn't end up going for it, I don't think. I just ended up just playing around Von Bolt's defense with the tanks and stuff. So yeah, I got tanks and stuff up here, and I believe he just didn't take this next turn. So that's a GG's there. He definitely has a good amount of counterplays still to go. He might have resigned. I don't think he resigned though, if I remember correctly. I think he just timered out. Yeah, I think he just timered out if I remember correctly. But either way, he's down 4K in income. He's down 5 unit count, which like isn't the end of the world. But he is down, I'd say, 86. I'd say about 6k in value as well, which is not great. That being said, he could Lucky Star this turn, maybe? Well, see, the other issue that comes with playing Nell is it's really actually hard to use 3-move infantry, unless for like in a good wall formation, against tanks and stuff. So Nell, honestly, the more I play mixed base, the more I'm just like, Nell is god awful in mixed base. The other thing about Nell's infantry is they can't actually attack like black boats or anything, so they can't like break open the HQ for you that way with just lucky infantry rolls. You're gonna have to rely on tanks and stuff for that, which isn't bad and all, but I feel like Max is overall gonna be better for you. I think the mech move was fine. It's not gonna end up being that good for her because I have enough tanks in the area to like counter most of it. What she could do, what Nell could do here is go medium tank here. And then she's got enough tanks everywhere else where I'm not even wouldn't even be able to move in like that well. Yeah, I think that would be the play, would be medium tank here, infantry, and then swap to max, because you are getting pretty close to the max force here. And you could use that to zone me out pretty easily, especially on like a mixed base type map like this. So, I feel like it wouldn't be necessarily over for my opponent at this point, but he is down like 4 properties, and I'm about to swap and flip another one. This one they could maybe interrupt with the recon, but they'd lose the recon for it. They could interrupt this one, but again, that would be just preventing the gap from widening, not closing it, because I got this guy and this guy as well. So I think at the end of the day, my opponent resigning by default, or possibly resigning, I forget, isn't like that isn't that crazy at this point, even though it is only day 9, but yeah, that's it. Battle Cuppers are very weak on this map because like you can just move anywhere you want with the tanks here, or anti-air especially, so no point at all to building this, even though it was good for like a turn to ward off my tanks, but after that it's not going to be that great. Let's see. So that's it for today's match. Next one is going to be, let's go to maps and bands. Next one is going to be map 4, which is another weird one. It's a long, well, it's a tall map, which is going to be annoying to record, but other than that, it's freaking Super Mario Bros. Themed, which is like, what? But the fun thing about this map is this island is, well, I mean, I guess it's sort of secluded. I don't know. It's an interesting map. It's an interesting take on shadows. So that'll be next week's match. Yeah. If you enjoyed, I guess like and subscribe and all that other nonsense, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.